A Labrador Retriever lies motionless on a cold garage floor. Her legs don't move. Her tail doesn't wag. The man who once called her family walks away without even looking back. But what happened when someone else found her? Someone who saw her pain and refused to give up became a story that will stay with you forever. The concrete was cold, hard, unforgiving, and she hadn't moved from that corner in 2 days. Her name used to be Bella, but the man who named her didn't say it anymore. Now she only heard things like, "She's just a dog. It's not worth the money," or "What do you expect me to do?" Bella was a 6-year-old Labrador Retriever, strong once, proud. She had chased balls across green yards, barked with joy at the sound of a leash, and guarded the front porch like it was her mission in life. But weeks ago, her back legs began to weaken. First she stumbled, then she couldn't jump, then she couldn't stand. The vet said it could be neurological, maybe spinal degeneration. It was treatable, not cheap, but possible, a wheelchair therapy time. But the man, her owner, just sighed and didn't come back for a second opinion. Now Bella lay on a torn towel in the corner of a cluttered garage. The door cracked open only once or twice a day. Food was pushed in a metal bowl, water dropped in another, but no words, no touch, no warmth. She whimpered sometimes, not loud, just enough to remind herself she still had a voice. Then came a morning it all changed. She heard the sound of shoes, different ones, softer steps, slower. The garage door creaked open all the way. Light flooded in. Bella squinted, and then she saw her. A woman, middle-aged, in jeans, brown boots, a blue hoodie, hair tied back, kind eyes. She stood there in silence for a moment, just taking it in. Bella tried to lift her head. She could barely manage it. Her tail didn't move. Her legs lay limp behind her. The woman swallowed hard, then looked back over her shoulder. "You said she was old," she said flatly. "She's not." The man, her owner, replied, leaning on the doorway, arms crossed. "She can't walk. You want her? She's yours." The woman turned back to Bella, took a few slow steps closer. Bella's body stiffened, but the woman crouched low and gentle. "Hey there, sweet girl," she said. No shouting, no disgust, no sighs. Bella's ears twitched, just barely. The woman reached her hand out, not touching, just showing. Bella whimpered again. The woman's eyes welled up. "You've been lying here alone, haven't you?" The man sighed behind her. "Look, take her or don't. I'm done either way. She's out of here today." The woman stood up slowly. "Do you have her papers?" "Don't need them. Food, meds. She's your problem now." And just like that, he turned, walked back into the house, shut the door, didn't look back. The woman looked down at Bella, then knelt beside her again. "Okay," she whispered. "You're coming with me. I don't know how, but we're going to figure it out." She pulled out her phone, made a call. "Hi, I need help with a large dog. She's paralyzed, I think. I'm not leaving her here." Bella blinked. For the first time in days, she felt something warm. Hope. A few minutes later, a pickup truck pulled up. 2 vet techs stepped out with a stretcher, and Bella, still silent, still broken, was lifted with care into the back seat, wrapped in blankets. The woman sat beside her the entire ride. She never stopped talking softly, and Bella listened, because deep inside her, something stirred. Not strength, not yet, but something else, something new. The vet clinic smelled like antiseptic and fresh coffee, but Bella didn't notice any of that. She lay on a clean, towel-lined stretcher on the floor of the exam room, her chest rising and falling in shallow breaths. Her ears barely twitched when the door opened. The woman who had rescued her, Lauren, as she would soon be known, stood by the door, hands clenched around the strap of her purse, eyes locked on the dog, who now meant more than she could explain. A vet tech named Maria, in light green scrubs, crouched beside Bella and gently brushed the dog's fur away from her spine. "She let you lift her without growling?" Maria asked. Lauren nodded. "She hasn't made a sound except for a soft whimper now and then." Maria looked up, surprised. Most dogs in pain like this would have snapped. "She's trying to be brave." Those words hit Lauren deep. She'd seen it in Bella's eyes. The way she didn't fight, didn't even flinch, not because she was fine, but because she had already surrendered. The door opened again. Dr. Harris entered, mid-50s, calm presence, silver-rimmed glasses, soft gray scrubs. He gave Lauren a small smile. "This the one you called about?" "Yes," Lauren said. "Her name is Bella." He knelt beside the stretcher, placed a hand gently on Bella's side. "Hey there, sweetheart." She didn't react. He ran his hands down her back, her legs. No resistance, no response. After a few long minutes of quiet, he looked at Lauren. "Can I ask where she came from?" "I took her from someone who was going to leave her behind," Lauren said. "She's been lying on a garage floor for days. No vet, no meds, no help." Dr. Harris sighed. "You did the right thing bringing her here." He gently picked up one of her hind legs and tapped near the paw with a small reflex hammer. Nothing. Then again, still nothing. Lauren's heart pounded. "What does that mean?" He hesitated before answering. "There's no deep pain response, which tells me her spinal cord is either severely compressed or severed." Lauren swallowed. "Is there a chance she can walk again?" Dr. Harris paused, then said what Lauren didn't want to hear. If it's spinal degeneration or a herniated disc, surgery might help, but she's been down too long, and without any reflex or nerve response, the odds of recovery are low. Lauren stepped closer, tears welling in her eyes. "But she's so young. She's only 6. "I know," he said gently. "She still has a strong heart, clear lungs. She's not dying. She's just paralyzed." Lauren knelt beside Bella. The dog blinked but didn't lift her head. "So what now?" Dr. Harris stood slowly. "Well, some people in this situation choose to let them go." Lauren's head snapped up. "Let her go." "I'm not saying that's what you should do," he clarified, "but it's an option, especially if you're not able to handle the care she'll need." He motioned toward the door. "You can leave her here if you want. We'll keep her comfortable while you decide." But Lauren didn't even look at the door. She looked only at Bella, this broken, beautiful dog who hadn't growled, who hadn't snapped, who hadn't stopped trying to stay calm in the face of rejection. Lauren placed her hand on Bella's paw. "No, I didn't pull her off that floor just to give up now." Dr. Harris nodded respectfully. "In that case, we'll start her on anti-inflammatories. I can refer you to a neurologist, and there are carts, custom wheelchairs. You'd be surprised what these dogs can do with the right help." Lauren wiped her eyes and whispered, "She deserves that chance." Bella shifted ever so slightly. For the first time, her eyes moved to meet Lauren's, and in that look, something changed, a flicker, tiny, fragile. Hope. Lauren sat in her car in the clinic parking lot, forehead pressed to the steering wheel. It was raining now, the kind of soft, steady rain that made everything feel heavier. In the back seat, Bella lay on a thick blanket inside a crate lined with towels. She hadn't moved since the exam, but her eyes, they never stopped watching Lauren. Lauren had no idea what came next. She was a freelance copy editor, lived alone in a rented house, no savings to speak of, just her and a quiet life. And now this broken dog. "What am I doing?" she whispered. The vet visit had cost nearly everything she had in her checking account. The quote for the neurologist, over $2,000 just for an MRI. A custom cart, between $400 and $1,000. Medication, diapers, physical therapy. The numbers circled her mind like a storm. But when she looked into the back seat again, Bella was still watching her, still silent, still trusting. That night, Lauren brought Bella inside her home for the first time. She had cleared a corner of the living room, laid down waterproof pads, and covered them with soft blankets. She gently lifted Bella from the crate, cradling her the way you would a child. Bella didn't resist. She barely made a sound, just a soft exhale as Lauren placed her down. The next few days blurred into a rhythm. Lauren woke every few hours to clean Bella, change the pads, and gently reposition her body to avoid pressure sores. She crushed pills into baby food and spoon-fed her. She sat beside her every evening, reading aloud or playing soft music. And still, No movement in Bella's legs, no bark, no wag, no shift in expression. But Lauren refused to give up. She called every local rescue. No one had space. No one could fund a dog in this condition. She started a GoFundMe, but it barely reached $100 in 2 days. Then, on the third night, just after midnight, there was a knock on the door. Lauren tensed. She wasn't expecting anyone. She opened the door slowly, and there stood Maria, the vet tech from the clinic. She held a reusable shopping bag in one hand. In the other, a fold-up ramp. "I hope I'm not crossing a line," Maria said, her voice cautious. But I couldn't stop thinking about her. Lauren blinked. "You came all the way here?" Maria smiled. "I volunteer with a mobility rescue group on weekends. We don't have a facility, but I talked to a friend. We have a cart that might fit her. It's not perfect, but it's a start." She stepped inside. "And this," she said, handing Lauren the bag, "is a harness, belly sling, some extra pee pads. You shouldn't be doing this alone." Lauren stared at her, stunned. "Why are you doing this?" Maria looked past her to where Bella lay curled on the blanket. "Because she didn't ask to be thrown away. And because most people don't care, but some of us do." Lauren's throat tightened. Together, they fitted the sling gently under Bella's belly and helped her upright. For the first time, Bella's front paws pressed against the floor. She didn't lift her back legs, not yet, but she held herself up. Lauren's hands flew to her mouth. "Oh my God!" Maria crouched beside the dog, speaking softly. "She wants to try." And Bella, ever so slightly, shifted forward. Not a step, not yet, but a drag, a move, a sign. Lauren dropped to her knees, tears spilling down her cheeks. "She's not giving up." "No," Maria whispered, "and neither are we." Bella had always been silent, even before the paralysis. She was the kind of dog who watched more than barked, who leaned into you rather than jumped, who protected by presence, not noise. But on the morning Maria arrived with a cart, she let out her first sound, a low, uncertain whine. Lauren knelt beside her, running a soft hand to the fur behind her ears. "It's okay, girl. I know it looks strange." The wheelchair wasn't beautiful. It was secondhand, slightly scratched, made of metal tubing and worn wheels, but it was adjusted with love. The right height, padded harness, a little tail opening in the back. Maria crouched nearby with soft gloves, her face calm and patient. "We're just going to try. If she hates it, we stop. No pressure." Lauren nodded, but she could feel her stomach twisting. What if this didn't work? It took nearly 20 minutes to gently lift Bella and fit her into the frame. She didn't resist, but she trembled the entire time. Her front paws touched the mat. Her rear was suspended in the soft harness. Then they stepped back and waited. Bella stayed frozen, her eyes darting between Maria and Lauren. Confused, alert. Lauren spoke softly. "You can do this, sweetheart." Bella blinked, then she moved. The left front paw took a small step forward, then the right. The wheels rolled an inch, another, and suddenly Bella was mobile, wobbly, hesitant, but upright and moving. Lauren gasped. Maria smiled. Bella made it 4 steps before her front paw slipped. The harness held her up, but her chin tapped the floor. She didn't whimper this time, but she stopped, frozen. Lauren ran over and steadied her. "It's okay, you're okay." But Bella's eyes had changed, not pain, shame. They removed the cart, laid her back on the blankets. For hours, she didn't try to move, didn't lift her head, didn't drink. Lauren sat beside her into the evening, heartbroken all over again. The next day, Lauren got a call from the rescue Maria mentioned, a mobility rehab center outside town. They had seen Bella's photos. They were willing to offer a week of free therapy if Lauren could get her there. But there was one problem. "We need her to try again," Maria said. "If she won't stand or push, they'll think she's not a candidate." Lauren understood. That evening, she tried again. She fitted the cart herself, took a deep breath, and whispered, "Please, girl, just try once more." Bella didn't look at her until she said the words she hadn't said since day one. "You're not trash." Bella turned her head. Their eyes locked, and with a sudden, shaky effort, Bella pushed forward, Not fast, not far, but she rolled across the room. Then another step, and then a bark, short, surprising, almost as if she startled herself. Lauren burst into tears. Maria laughed out loud. She wants to live. 2 days later, they arrived at the center. A wide space, glass walls, indoor ramps, grass paths. The lead therapist, Dr. Lyle, watched silently as Bella was wheeled in. Lauren expected doubt, maybe a sigh. Instead, he knelt. "You're a fighter, aren't you?" he said softly. Bella licked his hand. "We'll start water therapy tomorrow," he said, "but she's got the most important thing already." "What's that?" Lauren asked. He smiled. "She hasn't given up on people." That night, back home, Lauren watched Bella sleep peacefully in her cart, and she whispered, "Neither will I." Bella had made it halfway across the rehab center's grassy track. Lauren watched, holding her breath, as the dog's cart wobbled slightly with each uneven patch of earth. But she didn't stop, didn't falter, until she did. Bella paused, shuddered, and slowly collapsed on her front legs. Dr. Lyle ran over in seconds. Lauren was already kneeling beside her. "Bella, baby, are you okay?" The dog's tongue lolled out the side of her mouth. Her eyes were glazed, her breathing rapid. "Let's get her inside," Lyle said urgently. Back in the exam room, Bella was laid gently onto a padded table. Her temperature was taken, blood drawn. Lauren stood to the side, heart racing, barely breathing. Minutes passed like hours. Finally, Lyle came back. "She has a fever, elevated white cell count. It's an infection, probably urinary." Lauren felt her knees buckle. "Is it serious?" "It can be," he said, "especially in paralyzed dogs. They're prone to UTIs. It can spread fast if not caught. But she's going to be okay, right?" He hesitated. "We'll start 4 antibiotics now. But if it doesn't respond in the next 24 hours... He didn't finish the sentence. He didn't have to. That night, Lauren stayed at the clinic. She refused to leave. She pulled a blanket onto the floor beside Bella's table and curled up, one hand resting gently on the dog's shoulder. Bella didn't move, didn't whimper, just lay still, fighting. Maria came by early the next morning. Her shift not even started. She brought coffee and a bag of peanut butter treats. "She's strong," she said, "but even strong dogs need help sometimes." Lauren nodded. "I keep asking myself, why her? Why would someone just throw her away like that?" Maria sat beside her. "Because some people only want animals when they're perfect, and she stopped being convenient." Lauren's jaw clenched. "But she never stopped being good." The second night was worse. Bella vomited. Her breathing grew ragged, her eyes dull. Dr. Lyle increased the meds, added fluids, adjusted everything, but he was worried. It was written all over his face. Lauren stayed again. At 2 a.m., when the clinic was silent, she whispered through tears, I don't care if you walk again. I don't care if you bark or run or chase anything ever again. I just want you to stay." She laid her forehead against Bella's. "You're mine now, and I'm yours. Just stay." By morning, Bella opened her eyes, fully, clearly, and licked Lauren's hand. She wasn't out of danger yet, but the fever had dropped. The vet tech smiled. Dr. Lyle finally exhaled. Lauren cried harder than she had in years. 3 days later, Bella stood with help and took 4 steps in her cart. Her eyes were clear. Her bark was louder. But more than that, her spirit had returned. The clinic decided to share her story on social media. They posted photos, a short video. They told the truth. This is Bella. She was paralyzed, abandoned, and nearly lost infection. But she fought, and she's still fighting. The post went viral. Donations poured in. Messages from strangers filled Lauren's inbox. One stood out. "Tell her she's not broken, she's just unfinished." Lauren read it aloud to Bella that night and swore she saw her tail twitch. The day the new car arrived, the air felt different. Even the staff at the rehab center seemed to walk a little lighter, talk a little softer, as if they all sensed that something big was coming. The delivery guy wheeled in the large brown box like it was full of gold. In a way, for Bella it was. Lauren stood beside her as they unwrapped it. This wasn't a borrowed cart from before. This was hers, custom-fitted lightweight red and black aluminum, soft memory foam straps, adjustable height, padded harness on the belly, rubber grip wheels designed for trails, carpet, and even grass. It was beautiful. Bella lay nearby on her padded mat, watching in silence, her ears tilted forward. She knew. She always knew. Maria knelt beside her. "Ready, girl?" Bella didn't bark, but she licked her lips once and lifted her head. That was enough. They moved slowly, carefully. Lauren held Bella's front half. Maria adjusted the straps in the back. She was heavier now, stronger. She didn't tremble like before. And when they finally let go, stepping back, Bella stood, upright, perfectly balanced, suspended but confident. Everyone in the room froze. One of the other dogs barked from across the therapy room. Bella turned her head toward the sound. Her ears twitched. And then she moved, not slowly, not cautiously. She walked, rolled, then trotted straight down the hallway. The wheels spun smoothly, her front legs pumping with rhythm, power, purpose. Lauren covered her mouth with both hands, tears spilling instantly. Maria laughed out loud. "She's flying." Bella turned back halfway down the hall, as if to check they were still watching. Then she barked, short, sharp, full of life, and kept going. Outside, they opened the back gate to the therapy yard. Bella had never been in the open like this since the day she was left behind. The grass was green, the sun warm. Lauren unclipped the leash. "Go on." Bella hesitated for a second, then with a few swift pushes, she took off. The wheels rolled cleanly across the yard. Her tongue hung out the side of her mouth, her eyes wide, bright, shining. She circled once, then twice, and then she ran, full speed, wolves kicking up bits of grass behind her, ears bouncing. Other dogs barked from the porch, watching her. Staff came out to see. Bella didn't stop. At the far end of the yard, she turned too fast and nearly tipped. Lauren started to rush toward her, but Bella corrected. She planted her front paws wide and kept going. More barks, more circles. Bella was showing off, and no one had ever seen anything more beautiful. That night, back at home, Lauren opened the crate door. Bella wheeled herself in and curled up to rest. She didn't need help. Not anymore. 2 weeks later, the local news picked up her story. They filmed Bella in the therapy yard, interviewed Lauren, Maria, and Dr. Lyle. The piece aired on a Sunday night, and the next day, emails poured in hundreds, then thousands. Messages from all over the country, from parents of children with disabilities, from veterans with spinal injuries, from rescue workers, from teenagers fighting depression. All of them said the same thing. Bella didn't just save herself. She gave me hope, too. Lauren sat beside her that evening, phone in hand. Bella rested her head on Lauren's foot. "You're more than a miracle," Lauren whispered. "You're a message." Bella let out a long sigh, content, then reached her paw forward and touched Lauren's hand. The late spring sun poured gently through the wide living room window, casting a warm light over the hardwood floor where Bella rested peacefully in her cart. She didn't need to be lifted anymore. She wheeled herself from room to room with quiet confidence. She knew where her water bowl was. She knew how to wait at the door when it was time to go outside. She even knew where Lauren kept the peanut butter. It had been 6 months since Lauren first found Bella lying paralyzed on that cold garage floor, lifeless, discarded, forgotten. Now Bella was thriving. Her fur had grown back thick and shiny. Her muscles were stronger. She could pull herself over grass, ramps, carpet. And more importantly, her spirit was light. On this particular afternoon, Lauren was setting up a small folding table in the backyard. The lawn had been freshly mowed. A string of solar lights lined the fence. A few neighbors and friends from the rehab center were gathering for what Lauren called Bella's celebration day. No birthdays, no surgery anniversaries, just life, survival, recovery, a celebration of choosing to keep going. Maria arrived first with a box of pupcakes. Dr. Lyle followed, bringing Bella a new rubber toy shaped like a wheelchair. Even some of the donors who had helped online came by to meet the dog, whose story had gone far beyond their expectations. Everyone took turns kneeling beside Bella, scratching behind her ears, whispering to her, "You're amazing. I followed your story from the start. You helped me keep going." At one point, A woman in her 50s with silver braids and soft eyes approached Lauren. She introduced herself simply as Carol. "I lost my son last year," she said softly. "I didn't think I'd smile again. Then I found Bella's video, and somehow watching her fight made me feel like I could too." Lauren stood still, stunned. "She's really touched people, hasn't she?" Carol nodded. "She reminded me that healing isn't about being perfect. It's about being here." Bella barked at that exact moment. A quick, proud bark, then rolled forward, circled a group of guests, and came to stop in front of a little boy sitting cross-legged on a picnic blanket. He had cerebral palsy and a tiny walker beside him. The boy smiled wide, reached for her, and Bella leaned in gently, like she always did. Later that evening, as the last guest said goodbye and the lights blinked on in the yard, Lauren sat on the porch with Bella at her feet. The sky had turned a deep orange. Birds were quiet now. Even the air felt still, as if the world itself paused to reflect. Lauren looked down at Bella, who rested with her front paws crossed, her eyes half closed. "You did it, you know," she whispered. "You didn't just survive. You changed people. You changed me." Bella didn't move. She didn't have to. That night, Lauren received one final email. It was from a young girl in Ohio. She wrote, "My brother is in a wheelchair. He used to think he couldn't have a dog, but now he says, maybe I'll get one like Bella. Thank you for showing us that love doesn't need legs to stand tall." Lauren closed the laptop slowly, tears in her eyes. She looked at Bella one more time, now fast asleep on her blanket, tail flicking gently in a dream. She smiled, because Bella had found something far greater than walking. She had found her purpose, and it rolled on 4 wheels through hearts, across homes, and into the lives of strangers who simply needed to believe again. If Bella's journey moved you, please subscribe, like, and share this story with someone who needs a reason to hope again. Because sometimes it takes a dog on wheels to remind us you're never too broken to heal and never too far gone to be loved.